welcome back. We are here with our guest, and the program is just taking off. So, where are you right now? If you're driving, please concentrate. Don't let LASMA pick you. Concentrate. This is not the time for you to watch in Family and Values. But if you are at home, you're in the office, or you are, with your phone, we are always on the move. Yeah, we're mobile. So as you go, we'll be with you. Okay, so Family and Values, we've started. Today is our Elder Thursday, like we said. And we want to wish our own many celebrations. So this is going to the Olori Ebi of Fashola's family, our own, Honorable Feyi Fashola, as he turned 70, is celebrating platinum jubilee today. So happy birthday to you, sir. From Galaxy Television, from all of us here, we wish you many more resounding and gracious years in health and abundance of strength. We pray God will continue to help you and make you to do many more. So send your wishes. I always tell you, if you have wishes, send it to us. Send it to us. Now, as we go into our topic today, making your food your medicine. So you not start making medicine your food. We have someone in the house. She's a wellness expert, and she's none other than Yetunde. I love that name. You see all this Yetunde. Do you know the meaning of Yetunde? You don't. Yetunde. Yeah. What got that name? Yewande. Ye is a mother. Like a motherly acronym figure. So Yetunde means a mother who passed on that decided to come back. That's the interpretation. So we have Yetunde Femi Odige in the house. It's so good to have you this morning. We started our week with Odige. We have another Odige in the house.
Thank you. It's beautiful to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to the house.
Thank you so much.
So how's the family? You're looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
Different from our pictures.
Thank you. Yeah, those pictures are not current.
I was just staring.
Because you have pickers.
That's what I did to all my guests. I look at the flat. I'm like, what am I picking from you?
Because
I could definitely pick your bracelet. Like, don't worry, I'm not going for the research.
You're so much welcome.
Thank you.
Now, when we say wellness expert, can you just, for the benefit of our viewers at home who don't really have an understanding, knowledge of what it means, can you just, in 2 minutes, a minute, to give us a breakdown?
Okay. Thank you. When you say that we talk about wellness is a state of being. Is a state of being that every creature, as designed by the Creator, was born to be in. And it means ease. For example, we all are sitting here and you don't have an idea that your heart has been working for as long as your mother got pregnant. The first thing occurs when the sonogram is done is the heartbeat. So for as long as for 9 months plus your age, your heart has been beating it
Even before.
thousands of daily, but you're not aware. That's wellness. That's ease. That you do not know, but it's working. So wellness is a state of being in health. And this is not just physical. We are beings that are not only physical. So your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health, all working at ease is what wellness is. You can attune that and think about a lion in the jungle. The lion doesn't need a vet. It doesn't need a nutritionist. It doesn't need a dietitian. It doesn't need a nurse. He is well in his being, just expressing life as a lion.
It's a lion.
We are expressing life as human beings. The lizard is expressing as a lizard. The afang leaf in the bush is expressing.
I love the fact that you are going to afang. Okay, now to the business of the day. What does it mean to use food as medicine? Food as medicine, and how does nutrition, impact overall health, and disease prevention? How?
Okay. Thank you for that question. This is something that is quite broad. food as medicine, how do we do that? First of all, we need to understand that when we hear medicine, you know, I think negatives occur more in the mind. When we hear medicine, we think, okay, something to treat a disease. Like I said earlier, wellness is a state of being at ease. We are born into that. Every child is born into, you are existing in ease in your mother's belly, and you are born just to continue that ease. Your heart beating, your liver working, your kidneys working, everything. Now, when we think about food as medicine, let's not think of food as we want to use it to treat a disease. Instead, let us think it as we want to use it to continue our ease. Yeah? So, it is a support to continue the ease that we are already designed to have. We came with that ease. It is follow come, as we say in Nigeria. It's follow come. That's why a pediatrician is shocked when a baby starts having a high temperature. It doesn't make sense. Why is this baby having a high temperature? You understand? Babies are supposed to laugh, play, eat, sleep.
You know,
that's the ease. You know, so when we think about using food to continue our ease, we need to understand what we are. First of all, human beings are heterotrophs. That means that we do not produce our own food. Plants are autotrophs. They produce their own food. We cannot produce our food. Yet, our body needs food. What kind of foods? We need to understand that. Is everything food to a human being? Like, if I go outside and chew grass, will it give nutrients to my body? What kind of nutrients to aid my state of ease? So, first of all, human beings need 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Once you understand that I'm a human being, I need 3 macronutrients. I cannot produce my own food. I want to support my ease. Why? Because my ease needs support. It will not continue without nutrition. If you begin to starve today, very soon it will lead to death. So how do I, as a human being, take the responsibility? When I was young, my parents were responsible. But now when I've come of age, I am responsible. So how do I use food? Not to treat a disease, but to continue my ease.
Okay, now let me hold on there. How can you use food not to treat a disease, but to continue your ease? In answering that question, because you have put it on there now, I want to also mention those foods that become everyday food that can actually help, I won't say boost immune system, but help in this ease journey we are talking about. Because I love the fact that you've made it look like, okay, you're not eating because you want to treat one disease, or you just want to continue that wellness that is. So in talking about how you can do that, I wanted to add daily foods that one can eat, that we can see around, that, like you said, we can't go outside eating grasses, right? Of course. So incorporate that so that it helps us understand.
Okay. So let's take it back to carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Okay. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are foods that when the body breaks it down, they become glucose. Because the body doesn't use the eba you eat, doesn't use the rice you eat, it doesn't use the meat. It breaks it down. So let us always remember that there's a breaking down process. So when you eat carbohydrates, it will break down and become sugars, glucose. So whatever the carbohydrate is, your body doesn't know the difference between bread and apples. It cannot tell you the difference between rice and sugar cane. It's all glucose. It's all going to end up as glucose. Now, what does the body use glucose for? Fast energy. I want to run up that hill. Fast energy. I want to go to the gym. Fast energy. I need energy now. That's the job of glucose. Carbohydrates. So when do I eat carbohydrates? I'm going to go to the gym. I need energy and I'm going to burn it now. I just finished exercising. I need energy, because what you did when you exercise is that your body takes off your glucose store that you already have and uses, provides it and flushes your bloodstream with it so that you can exercise. You can run to exercise. That's why I don't advise anybody to go to the gym or exercise on an empty stomach. No, don't do that, especially if you are a woman. It's going to throw you off your hormones.
Oh, come on, sit down.
But we take
sit down.
We take a couple of coffee. Yeah, we do.
Okay,
you need that energy.
Energy.
Okay, so I need fast energy. I'm going to do something tedious now. That's carbohydrate. What do proteins do? Proteins are the repairers of the body and the builders of muscles. Meat, fish, eggs, avocado, nuts, seeds, or proteins, they help repair your body. When you tear a muscle, it's the proteins. The body breaks them down to amino acids. So they are for repair, they are for growth, they are for muscle growth. If you want to build your muscle, you want to tone up, you're going to increase protein. What are fats? Fats break down into fatty acids. So you are talking also nuts, seeds, oils. The body doesn't need more than 5 milligrams a day. So when you are eating that, your
SS, and put plenty palm oil, that is,
or egusi, the palm oil is blinking at you like this. You are giving your liver too much work.
Wow.
Because the molecules of fatty acids are very tight and highly calorific. That means that they will give you a lot of calories in a little time. And the way your body works is calorie in, calorie out. If you need 2,000 calories a day, and you eat and use 2,000 calories a day, I bet you in 10 years of doing that, you will never gain weight, because garbage in, garbage out. What you ate is what you are using.
Throwing out.
That's why you notice that children, babies, when we just have them and we are feeding them as babies, they put on weight, they become plumpy. Like you take them to clinic and you are
taking care of this baby,
and then they start walking. And then you say, why is this picking leaner like this? I'm giving you food now. And then they start stretching up, going taller. You see their limbs getting all stringy. And I'm not slim. Your father is not slim. Why is this baby looking like leper? It's because now they are using the calories more. When they were in your arms, they were eating and sleeping.
Just sleeping.
But now they are burning the calories. So the calories are coming in and going out. You're not going to gain weight that way until you start to feed them junk, give them excess snacks, like they've had fast at 8, by 10 it's something, by 12 it's another thing, by 2 it's another thing, and then lunch at 3, and then 6 o'clock it's something, and you're overfeeding. They have too many calories, so they are burning what they need, but their body is storing the rest. How the body thinks when it sees excess calories, that there's a time coming. This is the brain thinking, there's a time coming, there will be famine in the land. This one that there's plenty food now. There's a time coming that there will not be plenty food. So let me be storing the excess. In all honesty, your body is trying to save you every time. It's a very loyal servant. It's always trying to save you. Would you believe that if you had bad memories, over time your body starts to delete them or keep them where your thinking cannot reach?
Wow.
Very, very far from your immediate thinking, just to save you from the trauma of those experiences.
Not to lose it.
Yeah. It is when you go into maybe therapy and healing and several somatic
now start
it will just start coming like a flashback. This thing happened. This
wow.
How come I've not remembered this in 23 years? Your body is always protecting you. It's so loyal, and that's why it is wisdom to take care of it, because it's loyal to you. It is absolute wisdom to dedicate. If you say, all I want to do in my life is to take care of my body, well, you have fulfilled purpose. There's no need to go to Mars or Jupiter or try to do one esoteric thing that the world has never heard before. Just take care of your body. So those are the everyday foods. Once you know what carbohydrates, proteins, and fats do for you, then you look at them and say, which of these am I going to pick? Which of them is healthy? Because cornflakes is carbohydrates, biscuit is carbohydrates, so is yam, so is potato, so is bread. So you start to think, what are they made of that can work for me? What is bread and other baked goods made from? White flour, right?
Yeah.
The flour. But the white flour is an over-processed thing. It's so processed. It doesn't look like what, if you take wheat, the seeds, and put it beside white flour, they don't even look alike. Yet, white flour comes from wheat. So the farther something is from its natural design, the worse it is for your body. Because remember, I said that the body always has to break down food. Yeah. So it needs enzymes to do that. Your stomach produces enzymes. Your mouth, in fact, for carbohydrates, digestion starts in the mouth. If you put a bit of biscuit on your tongue and don't chew, what does it starts to melt? Because there are enzymes in your mouth that can melt carbohydrates. It's not the same with meat. If you put a piece of chicken in your mouth from now till next year,
if you don't have strong teeth to chew it,
you will just be looking at it.
There's this argument that beans does not belong to the class of protein.
Yes, it's a
that beans
carbohydrate.
is carbohydrate. But while we were growing up, we were
Is there is
taught
protein?
that
We'll
beans
come back
is
to
protein.
that. We'll come back to that. It's time for us to go for our word of marble, and this is just to aid us to a quote regarding what you're discussing today. So let's go for a word of marble. We'll be right back. If you want to send message, ask questions now, so that you'll be at ease with your body, soul, and spirit. Let's go for a break. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. We've been talking about making food your medicine. Making your food your medicine. Now, we have our darling sister here. She's a wellness expert, and we've been enjoying this conversation. In short, I've never enjoyed it like this before. I am enjoying it. I hope you are doing the same thing. And please send this after the show. Send it to your loved ones. It will help to restructure our thinking. Just like Joy asked before, I just wanted to just say one or two things regarding the beans. She asked them, why did they now put it in our mind, like she said, that it's a protein? Because when you like protein, it's protein. It's protein. So as a wellness, please help us.
Well, actually,
before I ask the next question.
Beans are grains, okay? And then just several categories of grains. Beans fall under carbohydrates because they're 60% carbohydrate. Beans have some protein in them. But what we must understand, as I said earlier, is the digestion part of it. Does our body really digest beans? Have you noticed that if you eat beans, if you go to pass out fecal matter, you will find seeds of that beans in the fecal matter, especially the skin. Our body does not have the requirement to break down the skin of beans. And if you cannot break down the skin of a thing, that's the exosperm, you cannot get into the nucleus where the protein is to do your body good. Okay. So you want to eat beans. It is fine to eat beans. Eat it as blended beans. Moi moi. Using beans, healthy oils. Yes. Or cook it very soft. Very, very soft. Like
they were going.
Eat it. Cook it very soft so that you can get at least some nutrients from it. But the majority of the nutrients you get will be carbohydrates anyways. And always eat with proteins. Meats, animal or plant proteins. Yes, always eat with proteins, because proteins keep you fuller. Like I said, carbohydrates are for I need energy.
Do you know that it took me a while to realize that you eat beans with meat or egg?
You always thought the beans
was already the protein. So you eat rice and beans, and you think you're taking carbohydrates and proteins.
Okay, this is when I will need to invite you to send your text message if you have questions, anything regarding nutrition or your diet. What causes heartburn? She will help us with that. So what particular food do you have to take? At what age do you feel heartburn? Is it maybe you go to bed or ask any question on 070-422-34006. You will have it on your screen very soon. So text message. I'm not taking calls so that we'll have enough time with our guests. So I want to ask, how does food affect our mental and health and our mood? And also, how does processed food impact us negatively?
Okay. First of all, how does food affect our health? Our
mental health and emotional health.
Okay, let's go back again to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are for fast energy, right? I need energy now. I eat a carbohydrate. I use the energy. It's gone. There's the problem. When the energy is gone, a particular enzyme in your stomach called ghrelin signals your brain that there's no more energy in the cells, because all of us are we are just trillions of cells in a body, like 40 trillion cells in a body. So you're actually feeding yourselves. You're not feeding your taste buds. That chicken that is tasting very nice. This chicken is very nice. You're actually feeding your cells. So take cognizance of that I'm feeding my cells. So when the energy is burnt, you use the carbohydrate, your blood sugar will go back down. Because when you add the carbohydrate, they release blood sugar, and you use the blood sugar. So your blood sugar will reduce again, and then the enzyme ghrelin will warn the brain that blood sugar is down, it's lower than what we need. So your stomach will start telling you that you are hungry. Once that happens, the next thing you always reach out for is another carbohydrate. Do you know that? You eat a plate of white rice now, and you're feeling very good. Then 2 hours time, you say, I dey feel like say make I just
choose
no be say
something.
I'm not hungry. I just want juice.
something to go through your mouth.
Snack
Just
on
snack on
something.
something.
So you snack on that thing 2 hours later. That thing is also a carbohydrate. So the cycle begins again. Your blood sugar goes up, you have instant energy, and then your blood sugar comes down, and then ghrelin tells the brain again, we are hungry, and the brain says, oh, your stomach start turning joy so that she can go and eat.
And go and eat again.
So, and the next thing, once the stomach starts turning joy, she reaches for another
I
carbohydrate.
trust that. Like carbonated drink.
She says, thank you. And then the process is again. So what that does is that day in, day out, almost every 2-3 hours in your life, your blood sugar goes up, your blood sugar comes down. Your blood sugar goes up, your blood sugar comes down. And so you are destabilized.
Wow.
So you start getting cranky at a point. Have you not noticed that some crankiness will just set in, like, you just, why? Because your blood sugar is not stable. Your blood sugar should be pouring like the engine of a well-oiled car. Just not
up and down.
all the time. You are not stable. This is how it now affects your mental health and leads to depression. Because there is an instability in your blood sugar. You are not functioning. You are created to have a stable blood sugar. Go back to the early man. He wakes up, has his bath by the stream, or doesn't have his bath. He goes hunting for what? An animal. Protein. He brings it back and roasts it. Gets some root tubers like vegetables and potatoes from the ground, and eats that with the protein. And they eat huge chunks of protein, you know. And that way, he's stable, because that's the job of protein. It keeps your blood sugar stable.
Wow.
He's stable for like 7 hours before he's hungry again. You see, he's stable for like in those 7 hours of stability, he's not hungry, he's fine, he does his farming, he does his gardening, he builds his shed, he has stable energy. You see now, and that's the way we were designed to live. You see, this fast life, like you were saying, processed food now. Manufacturing didn't start till the 1900s or something, and man has been existing before then. Manufacturing made food over available. We don't have to look for food now. You walk into the nearest supermarket, you go to the shelf, you pick it. It's fast. So we don't exert energy to get our food anymore. And because it is always there, we don't eat the way nature designed. For example, it has started raining now. What are the fruits that you see around now?
Mango, orange,
you have
banana. You have watermelon. You have watermelon.
Cherry, and you have star apple. You have mangoes.
What's the color of agbalumo?
Brownish, like
inside
burnt orange.
Inside
yeah,
it's orange.
It's orange, burnt orange.
Thank you. What's the color of mango inside it?
Yellow.
Yeah, it's
orange. Yeah, you have orange
Nature
and
wants
yellow.
you to have vitamin C when the cold season is coming in. Why? Because vitamin C is going to boost your immunity for you. So nature wants you preserved. But what manufacturing has done is that day in, day out, the things that are not supposed to be in season are in season. Even in agriculture, we have hybrid plants. Bananas are not in season now, actually, but you find them.
But you find them.
Because hybrid, what do you call them now? The hybrid suckers have been produced. They can fruit at any time. So many things you're not supposed to eat in this season, as well as the processed foods are available. Now, the processed foods, because they are oversimplified, and most of them are carbohydrates anyway, in the carbohydrate family, we have complex carbs and simple carbs. All processed foods are simple. That means they get in there and they enter your bloodstream fast. There's nothing blocking them. What should block them should be the cell wall of that grain, which is fiber. So what fiber does is that it reduces the ability of that carbohydrate from being digested fast. Because the faster it is digested, the quicker it enters your bloodstream as sugar.
Wow.
So when you take a bottle of Coke now, zip, blood sugar goes up. Now.
Immediately.
Okay? But if you eat sweet potatoes, you boil sweet potatoes and eat them now. The fiber, you cannot eat, you can take 3 bottles of Coke at a go.
Yeah.
It's that simple. There is nobody on the planet that can eat, I believe, unless you have a problem with overfeeding. But this tray now of sweet potato, I want to see someone sit down and finish that. The fiber would, or unripe plantain.
You can't finish it.
Unripe plantain, you tell me you finish like
It
10
feels you.
fingers.
It feels you. Even when you boil like 2 or 3,
so-
you may not be able to
it
finish
slows
it.
down
I
the digestion
want to-
and the
I'm
impact
sure we're
on
going to
your
have
bloodstream.
Yetunde come in again. But your
to
question,
understand
so that we can
something.
round
I'm
up.
driving this question from where you were talking about carbohydrates and protein. So what you're advising is that when once you want to eat, make sure your protein is higher than
Extremely.
your carbohydrates.
Your carbohydrates.
Now that brings me to when we're growing up. There's too much of meat. Yes.
Teaches you to steal.
Teaches you to steal, and they don't give kids so much of meat. Now growing into adulthood, they'll say, no, don't eat so much of meat. Reduce the meat you're eating. You know, there is a lot. I call it confusion. This one is saying this one, just like we just realized that protein, this is not, and they are still
Your
teaching
question.
children.
Your question.
So that's
your
my
question.
question to you. How do we balance the portion of protein for kids above carbohydrates and protein for adults above carbohydrates?
Okay, where we start from is to understand that we can get protein from plants and we can get protein from animals. Protein from plants in the form of quinoa. Quinoa is a grain, but it's not popular here in Nigeria.
Okay, how does it look? How does it look? The one we have
It looks
here.
like fonio. You know fonio, acha.
Acha,
Yeah.
okay.
So acha is also a grain that is proteinous.
Oh.
Yes, acha is actually proteinous. You can get your protein from acha. You can get protein from animals like fish. Now, if you are eating fish, eat fatty fish. That's fish that have healthy fats.
Okay.
Those ones have like Titus,
Titus.
Very
mackerel,
expensive
Titus.
mackerel.
It's expensive now. So what you
What
can,
about cote?
cote is also has
So
some
egg
fat in
fish
it.
doesn't have any fat.
Which fish?
The egg fish.
The
What
egg
about
fish,
panla?
the egg fish is low in fat. Panla is low in fat.
That's
When you eat it, you know that they are low in fat. But it doesn't mean that you cannot eat them.
Okay.
You just target your meals. If you eat enough eggs and you have eaten Titus once or twice this week, you can eat
What
panla.
if I don't like Titus?
If you don't like Titus, you can go for catfish. If you don't like catfish, you can go for obokmodo,
Uh-huh,
called
no, I
pangasius.
prefer those
It's called pangasius. And actually, pangasius is even cheaper. You don't find it, you find it with farmers, you know. But pangasius is even cheaper than all these
All
other
those
fish.
ones,
It's
wow.
being farmed in Nigeria. It's called obokmodo. It's yeah. When you go to those women that come
Bokmodo is slippery too.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's,
so
it's
if you get your
grayish.
proteins from there, you cannot overeat fish. The fear of excess protein is in meat because it has the way meat is grown. I use the word grown or cultivated or raised.
or raised.
Natural dust.
It's
Most
no
of
longer
them
there.
is no longer there. So they have cholesterol that is too high. You can get proteins from milk, but the milk production in the world,
No.
all over the
No.
world now,
No.
they give the cows excess estrogen as injections and as part of their feed so that they can produce excess eggs.
more.
Now this estrogen gets into our bodies and affects our boys. You start having boy children growing breasts. And if you've noticed, the age of puberty in girls is reducing. Girls as early as 9 now.
No.
Yes.
In our days,
yes.
if you didn't get to the two-digit age,
now you never.
you know.
Eh?
But now you see a 14-year-old girl and the mother's age, you'll be looking at her like, and it's like this girl is my age mate.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So is the estrogen in the milk, is the cholesterol in the meat. There's excess cholesterol in it. So if you want to eat meat, for instance, you want to give your children meat, try to trim off the fat or take the non-fatty parts of the meat. All these tozo that people like because of the taste, it's fatty. And there's cholesterol. If the animals were being grazed in pasture and raised well, there's nothing wrong. You can eat any animal you like. And then that's also householders begin to think of raising your own protein yourself. You can keep some chicken in the cage and give them the scraps from the kitchen. And nobody says you can't rear ducks. Ducks are excellent meat. Turkeys, and turkeys are omnivores, eat anything including your own socks. So give them, cut leaves, banana leaves. If you have your own household, try to raise your protein. Have a small tank somewhere, have a fish expert come teach you how to raise catfish in your house. You can raise catfish in your house. You can spend 2,000 naira raising catfish in
my
your
sister
house.
and my mom does that.
So you can produce your own protein to an extent and stop relying. On your balcony, you can plant herbs. You can plant a wedu in pots. You can plant efo.
the
amaranth,
ugu and all
shoko
that,
in
yeah.
pots.
Yeah.
Have some sense of independence that gives you a little bit of power over your own health. Nobody says, even this local chicken that that grows anyhow.
Yeah.
That thing can eat anything.
Anything.
After a while, if you don't give it food, it will look for its own.
Yes,
And it's
now.
running for you, and in the evenings it will come home to roost.
Yeah.
And it will lay eggs for you. And
That's
so you can
it.
have healthier eggs instead of having the eggs in the
Wow.
cages that
Yetunde has done great with us this morning. Thank you so much. You are definitely going to come back. She's coming back. Don't worry, you're not going to miss her for long. I promise you. Either with me, with Joy, she's going to be here. I want to say a big thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you. No, if you know what she went through to get here today, she broke her 2 phones, the screen. I couldn't reach her. Thank you so much. God will honor you. Thank you. On that note, Joy.
All right, you've heard it all. For parents that are quick to give your children this fast processed food, it's time to stop and look for healthier ways. And please eat more of protein as adults and stop teaching children that beans is protein. Eat beans so that you grow. No, give them beans with meat. With
Okay,
egg.
give them beans
Right, we'll see you
and
tomorrow. I
mix
am
it with
Princess
protein.
Joy.